Welcome back. Shanghai is hosting a global tech gathering. The Mobile World Congress kicked off Wednesday. It showcases the latest telecom innovations and applications, smart devices, artificial intelligence, and the 5G networks that power them are highlighted. Dozens of vendors are showcasing innovative ways to incorporate 5G applications.
We apply it in many other industries, such as mines, the metaverse of industry, smart transportation, including digital cities and digital lifelines, also in some related application scenarios. We are currently trying to deploy this technology in more than 70 industries.
More than 300 exhibitors from around the world are participating, and MWC runs through Friday. For more on this, to discuss China's growing tech industry, let's bring in Winston Ma. He is an adjunct professor at NYU School of Law and the author of The Hunt for Unicorns and the Digital War. Thank you so much for joining us, Winston. China's really made a push from mobile-first to data-first technology since the pandemic. How easy or difficult has that transition been, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say it's still a mixed story. On one hand, China has made a big push into new digital infrastructure. Started with the stimulus package during the pandemic, and also all the industry companies are embracing 5G networks. So for companies like Huawei, China Mobile, right, they are dealing with a huge demand for new digital infrastructure. That's a positive side. But on the challenging side is, as you compare to last decade, when you see killer apps like mobile payment and online entertainment, for the 5G networks, digital infrastructure push, we're still waiting for the new generation killer apps to come.
And just to continue on that vein, what are some of the differences between the way the U.S. and China goes about 5G technology and how it's implemented?
Right. I would say the difference is huge. Actually, it relates to the fundamental question whether the investments into 5G applications and networks most likely will be multiple trillions in the coming years. Would that investment be a good investment? The answer to that question is different in the U.S. and in China. In the U.S., most of the carriers there, let's say T-Mobile, AT&T, right? I think they're looking at 5G, but they're waiting for more convincing, successful cases to come before they go in there, right? But in the China context, the Chinese companies are much more convinced. And in fact, at the MWC Shanghai, guys are already talking about 5.5G, led by companies like Huawei, pushing for more powerful 5G networks into more industries, not only internet companies, but also traditional industries such as energy and mining companies.
We can't talk about technology and innovation without bringing up AI. It's obviously the big buzzword these days, ever since ChatGPT launched late last year. How concerned should we be about the development of generative AI? Some say there's a risk of it becoming smarter than humans. What's your take?
Yeah. The AI is a very big topic at the MWC because AI requires a lot of data to train the large language models, etc. Right? So on one hand, it drives the demand for digital infrastructure. So that's very big positive news, for the carriers like China Mobile or vendors like Huawei. If you think about it, traditionally, AI mostly dealing with data in the past tense, meaning they're dealing with existing data, right? But when you go into 5G age, potentially you will be dealing with real-time data, which will be powered, enabled by the new digital infrastructure. So it's a mixed story. More data will go into AI, not only past tense, but also the real time, which puts a lot more challenge for the tech itself to provide security and privacy protection of such data.
Lots more questions for you, but unfortunately we are out of time. Winston Ma, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Karina.